Hello and welcome back to my channel Computer Classes by Rachna. In the previous video we have done the difference between the two functions count and count A, where count is used to count the numeric values and count A is used to count the names, character values in the rows. So count A function can count the numeric values as well as character values or any type of values, all the types of values, whereas the count function counts only the numeric values. And now we will be doing two functions which are countif and countifs, IFS. So what we'll do is we'll count the total students who are enrolled in the course BCA and total number of students who are enrolled in the course BBA. So as you can see the data table, we have roll number as one column, then names as the second column, course as the third column, then the marks in Hindi, English, Maths, SST, GSC, and we have calculated the total marks through formula. The formula that we have applied is the sum of these values, which is D2 plus E2 plus F2 plus G2 plus H2, and we have calculated the average through formula by dividing the total upon 5, which is the total number of subjects. And we have also calculated the total through functions. The function that we have used is sum, and for average we have used the function average. So if you want to see the details of what we have done previously, you have to check out my previous videos. So right now we'll be focusing on the total students of BCA and total students of BBA. So how can we get the total number of students in BBA and BCA? One way is counting them. Since we have only 10 rows, we can easily count how many BCA students are there and how many BBA students are there. But what if the total number of rows are in thousands? We cannot keep counting the BCA and BBA. So for that we can have a formula or a function. We can have a function. So what is that function? We can calculate how many students have opted for the course BCA in this column and how many students have opted for the course BBA. For this we have a function which is called as countif. So it will count the values if the condition is true. So we have to count the values in the column C, which is the course column, if the value is BCA for the total BCA students, and we have to count the values for the students if the value is BBA for the second option. So first of all we'll apply the function countif. So equal to countif, and then I double click and I get the range of the course. What is the range of the course? The range of the course is from C2 to C11. This is the range, and in this column of course it will count only when I give the criteria. So can you see here at the bottom it is just guiding me what all to enter. So we have to enter range and then we have to enter the criteria followed by a comma. So the criteria I'm giving in double quotes, and since it is a character value I have to give in double quotes. The characters are B, C and A, and I have to close the double quotes. So I have given the range C2 to C11 and I have given the criteria BCA, and now I close the bracket and enter. Since it was a function, it will always start with equal to. So equal to countif C2 to C11 and then criteria is BCA, and I enter. So the total number of students of BCA are 6. Similarly, I can have the total number of students for BBA. So again, I'm using the same. I can copy the cells from the shortcut Control C, Control V, and I can convert it into BBA. All right, now I need to count the total number of students for BBA. So there are 6 students of BCA. The total students are 10. So what should be the remainder? It should be 10 minus 6, which is 4. So there should be 4 students of BBA. As we can see here, 1, 2, 3, and so 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let's find out using the function. So equal to, again I will apply the same function, equal to count if. So I'll select this countif function. I can double click and then I have to give the range. What is the range? The range is C2 to C11, which is the row numbers and column numbers. So C2 to C11 is my range. And now the criteria is I want to count the students who are studying in the course BBA. So I give that criteria and I close this and then enter. Now you can see it's 4. The answer that we get to this is 4. The countif function is used when we have to apply one single criteria on one single column, whereas the countifs is one more function which can be used when we have to apply criteria on different columns. When we have to apply criteria on more than one column, we can use countifs. For example, I need to find out the total students who have opted BCA also and who have distinction also. So what is distinction? Distinction means that we have to have the percentage greater than equal to 75. So that is the meaning of a distinction. So how do I get the things related to distinction? So now again we will use first the countif function. We will use the countif function to get distinction. All right. So for getting that distinction in countif, what we do is we write down here below this average the total distinctions, which means total students who got distinction. Distinction means who got percentage greater than equal to 75. So we write down total distinctions here, and now what we do is we apply the countif function. So countif function is going to check how many students have got percentage greater than equal to 75. So when we write down count, we get the option of countif. We double click countif and now we can give the range. The range is, we will select this range where we have to count the value if the percentage is greater than equal to 75. So here we give the criteria greater than equal to 75, and now we close it and enter. So we will get the total distinctions equal to 5. There are 5 values which are greater than equal to 75. 1, 2, and then 3, 4 and 5. So there are 5 distinctions in total. Now since we know that there are 5 students with distinction and we know there are total 6 BCA students and there are total of 4 BBA students, we have to find out how many students out of these 5 are from BBA and how many students from these 5 are from BCA. So for that I have 2 criteria to be understood. One is the total number of students who have got BCA and who have got distinction. So there are 2 separate criteria for 2 separate columns. So total BCA distinctions. I hope you are understanding this, because what we have done, we have used countif to count the total distinctions, and now we are counting that how many total distinctions in BBA and how many total distinctions in BCA. For this we have to apply 2 criteria on 2 columns, and therefore we will use the function countifs instead of countif. All right, so equal to, and now I will use countif, and can you see here we get the options, and now I will click countifs, and you can see we have criteria range 1, and then we have the criteria 1, then we can have criteria range 2, and we can have the criteria 2, and so on. So first of all I'll select the range for BCA. So what was the range for BCA? I have to select this course from C2 to C11. You can see the formula can be seen here also. And what's my criteria for this range? The criteria is that it should be BCA. So I write down BCA. I type BCA in double quotes. Now I have to give the range for the second criteria. What's my second criteria? That the average should be greater than equal to 75. So I select this, and now I give the criteria in double quotes again, and I give greater than equal to 75. So you will get things in a clear manner when you will do them on your own. So we have to apply double quotes instead of single quotes. So this is how we will apply this, and now we have to close the parenthesis and enter. So it is 5. So that means that total 5 students of BCA have got distinction, and there were total of 5 distinctions, which means BBA students do not have distinction. So again, I use the same criteria, equal to, and I use the function countifs, which is IFS, because there are more than 2 criterias. And now firstly I select the range again, and this time the criteria would be BBA instead of BCA. So I select this range, and then the criteria is I need to select those students who have BBA and who have distinction. So again, the criteria 1 is over. Now I select the second range, which is I need to find out the average greater than equal to 75, and both these conditions, if they are true, then only it will count. So now I'm giving the criteria greater than equal to 75, and now just we have to give greater than equal to 75. Double quotes should be closed and parenthesis closed. Now you can see it gives 0, because as you can see, this is BBA. Row 3 is the student, roll number 3 is BBA, but the marks percentage is 57. Then we again have next student from BBA, but the percentage is 69. Then again we have next student from BBA, but the percentage is 63. And we have one more student from BBA, but the percentage is 66. So there are no students with distinction here, and that is why we have this as 0. Do you understand this? So you can see the answer is 0, and you can see the formula here: C2 to C11 BBA, J2 to J11 greater than equal to 75, and this is applied to countifs because there are 2 criteria applied on 2 columns. If there is a single criteria applied on single column, then it is countif. I hope you have understood. Kindly like, subscribe and share the videos if you have understood the concept. Thank you so much.